Microphone check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. All right. I seem like I'm having more technical difficulties today than I was the other day. Let's see. All right, I think that's going to work. And then I should be able to pull up the comments about my phone. Don't mind that. What's up, guys? Can you hear me okay? Yep, the wife's going to be occupied for about an hour. Yeah, let's see. That's a good comment. The Rockaway says, a lot has been revealed that further connects KK to the to Ski Mask. All roads lead to KK. I agree with that, but we could be missing something. Is it by proxy? Is it direct? How are they connected? That's not true. I don't know if that's true, Moon Crystal. Hey, Wanda, what's up? Here, let's try this. Maybe I'm better just holding this little tripod thing. Let's try this. Let's forget the laptop. I was kind of worried the sun would be too much in our face, but it doesn't look like it. All right. Yeah, this is way easier for me. Jacqueline says, I watched Sunny Live earlier with Adam and Guest. Cool. What was going on with them? I've been kind of busy. You guys can still hear me okay, right? This is kind of a good view over here, too. Let's try this. For like a small little town, Coeur d'Alene is kind of the shit. Oh, yeah, I'm in Crystal. It's amazing out here. Hold on. I don't know why it does that. Takes out a full screen. It's annoying as hell. You know the only problem with that, Vanessa, is they don't copyright strike me. They I don't know what the term is. It's like a copyright. I don't know. But some people who are doing the copyright won't allow me to play. Won't allow me to play it. The Rockaway says, for me, the circle keeps tightening around KK, and the explanations become simpler as the more exotic theories become less likely. And that's how it should be. You know, it should be tightening. With the information that we're getting, think about what law enforcement's going through. That means that they're having some great breakthroughs, and things are shrinking for them, hopefully as well. Hey, Amy says head into Nashville next week. Ooh, that sounds like fun. What are you gonna do, Amy? What you gonna do up in Nashville? Man, that sounds like some fun, actually. On Discord, Sleuth. What about the Discord? I haven't been on that in like, I think, almost a day, almost 2 days now. Let's see, this thing kind of extends. Maybe I can do something like this. I got a $8 selfie stick. It like turns into a tripod. It's pretty cool. What I listen to, let's see. Return the Diamond says, what I listened to of Adam Guest were somewhat recapping on the Mean Girls theory. I don't know, though. Well, if there's a Mean Girls theory, they could be using KK somehow, or he could be involved. To be honest, it's not that solid of a theory. The evidence just points in that direction. You guys remember that? That thing called evidence? Oh, really? Rosie for rivets. Yeah, that's what my wife was saying. She's saying it's probably super busy in the summer because they have like all these boat rentals. There was a bunch of people out on jet skis. Let's see. Let me see if I can flip the camera around. I should be able to. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. Okay. So yeah, it seems a little more active today. Like you got the plane about to take off. Either he's taking off or he's landing. I can't tell. But yeah, right there they have boat rentals, and there's a couple jet skis down there that you can rent too. And they were all busy today. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to take off. Hopefully I don't drop my phone. Yeah, I think they're coming back. There we go. Digital says that's where that other psycho in the red Jeep killed that family and took the little boy and girl. Girl survived. What's that all about? Yeah, that sounds awesome. Good for you, Amy. Sounds like a fun little trip. Wait, what do you mean ski mask developments? I didn't know there were any. That's why I was checking in with you guys because I feel like I haven't been keeping up with everything. We've been super busy. We're doing the whole romance thing. The Rockaway says, just think the murders and the ski mask incident happened same day of the week and same time of day. Yeah, I mean, you got a good point there, Rockaway. And that's why I was the first one to bring it up. I brought it up before the murder sheet ever brought it up. I haven't reached out to Gray Hughes about it, and he fucking mocked me. But he feels pretty stupid. Don't ever extend an olive branch to anybody. Just stick with the people that you trust, and you'll go a lot further. Hey, Teresa. Hey, what's up, Ivy? Oh, yeah, Kelly Miller. I'm in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Just over the border of Washington and Idaho. It's like one of our favorite places to go. Oh, all of these boats are amazing. I mean, you got people down here living in boats. Kay McBride says, when is Carter supposed to do a presser to clear all the family? Why would he need to do a presser to clear the family? I didn't know there was any evidence pointing at the family. It'd be interesting to hear that evidence. What? Rosie for Rivet says, sleuth, yup, cars, traffic everywhere. Yeah, because even on a Friday night, this place looks packed. I don't know. This is our anniversary, so we come out here in October. Oh, we're relaxed and chilling. The wife is. We have like a jacuzzi hot tub or whatever. Yeah, she's just hanging out in there. We really didn't have anything planned for today. We have a nice dinner. We got reservations. The place we are going is actually, if you look over my head there, right here-ish, there's a restaurant, and it's a floating restaurant, and they have the best prime rib ever. Sleuth, are you there with your wife's work? My daughter-in-law goes there once a year for a work conference. No, I'm just here with my wife. The kids are with the grandparents. We come here for our anniversary. But we did see a nice big conference in this media center that's kind of it's next door to one of the restaurants that we like to go to and have breakfast in the lobby. Yeah, they were having some huge meeting. So yeah, this must be a really good place for business owners to have little get-togethers. Miss Thing, you better stop. I don't know. Y'all talking about a ski mask and stuff. Well, it's very, very important to the case. It's almost the one piece, not only is it the one piece of information that brought law enforcement to Anthony Shots, but it's almost what also lets law enforcement know that Anthony Shots is a real criminal, and whoever's tied to that profile, they're really out there doing some scary things right around a double murder. So there's two implications there. Yeah, I got plenty of love. Matt H says the problem I have with the KK revelations is that he is a liar. So why is he talking, and do we actually believe him? No, we don't believe him, but he's still implicating himself. Um, there's a huge video that I'm working on, and it might just end up just being a nice long live stream, but it's basically tied to lone wolf theory, and it's KK alone. Basically manipulating how we perceive him and shit like that. I think it's possible he's the guy on the bridge. I think it's possible that the voice we're hearing is his. I think it's possible that nobody else was involved but Kegan Kline. And people who disagree, I have a feeling that he may have you guys fooled. So just consider it. These are all theories until we get the right information where we can pursue something more solid. So Adam said ski mask, sleepover girl was and still is dating KK's ex-roommate. Wow. Yeah, that is new information. That's fucked up. Yeah, that should tell you something right there. Man, if that's true, that gives a lot of weight to the mean teen theory. Because you got to think, what did Libby and Kegan Kline have in common? They had the ski mask girl. They had that incident. Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm gonna have to shoot Adam an email, ask him about that. That Duncan guy. What are you talking about? Digital? Is there a case here I can be looking at while I'm here? That'd be cool. The Duncan guy that killed that family in Coeur d'Alene. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Baby Bear. I appreciate you guys. Psych 101. That's sweet. Miss Thang, no. I don't. This is not a casino. I think they have one, but it's not really near here. I think it's like on an Indian reservation somewhere, like on the other side of the lake or something. This is a really big lake. Thank you, Rosie. Yeah, if I remember, I'm going to shoot Adam an email and ask him about that because that's very interesting. Because to me, all the evidence points to something along those lines. That's the commonality between those two. The one thing that Kegan and Libby had in common was the person who, or the family that this person was related to calling in that ski mask incident, whoever that might be, could have been them trying to point it right at Kegan, and it seems like it worked. And that also could be them changing directions, them kind of finding like, okay, you guys are trying to set up Kegan Kline. We're going to use him. We're going to make him look guilty because he's a piece of shit. What do we care? But they already knew about Kegan Kline since, a week after the crime. So it's really not a new direction. The new direction would really be, hey, we're not looking at Keegan Klein anymore. We're looking at the person who's trying to set up Keegan. Moon Crystal says, yes, TK, he is so creepy peeping in windows. I don't know if he's been convicted of peeping in windows, but he has been convicted of stalking. And he had a restraining order, and I think he broke that restraining order. You better stop it, Delphi. Hey, what's up, Copper Horse? That hat. Oh, let's take a look at this one. Jessica Pierce says that hacker dude that was on Fix Channel got into the Anthony Shots account and said basically that people using that account was in KK household only. Who knows? Yeah, we don't know. I haven't checked that guy's credentials. I haven't told him, hey, hack my account. So I don't know. I'm not doubting him, but I have no verification either. I'm a very skeptical person. I'm sorry. Rockaway says KK keeps putting himself closer and close to law enforcement can prove it and show him that they have the evidence. He's a lot smarter than you guys think, potentially. Or he's just some dumbass that was manipulated. You have to consider both, you know? Bossy, hey, KK's ex-roommate from Vegas. No, there's another roommate that wasn't mentioned in the affidavit, a much younger guy. I was on. What's crazy was I was onto this guy before he was ever mentioned. I have a folder on him only because he's really young. He matches the description, and he would kind of be somebody you wouldn't suspect. A very young kid. Yep, she had a fight with the ski mask girl. Yep, that's correct. According to Kelsey. Baby Bear says, I agree. I believe the KK is capable, not to be underestimated. They may very well have their man behind bars. Yeah. And we may not. We may not even be close. We don't know. The most important thing is we keep the attention on the case. That's what the family wants. We need to keep putting pressure on law enforcement. A high-profile case is only a high-profile case while it's high-profile. Once it's not, it's not. Yep, Kelly. Sleuthing on the go. Thanks, Art Critic. Let's see here. Do you think that BG knew Libby was filming him and ditched the phone? It's possible. I mean, we really don't know. The phone could have fallen out of her clothing. The perp could have been trying to take the clothes with him. Maybe he accidentally bled on some of the clothes and didn't take it as a trophy, but just took it because he knew that his blood was on it. I'm not sure. But I think we're going to find out very soon. It's either we're very close or we're very far. I don't think it's anywhere in between right now. Rockaway says ski mask girl unlocks the entire case. Yep, she did already. And if law enforcement was to switch directions, honestly, it would be something we didn't expect with the ski mask girl. You know, maybe they figured out that somebody was trying to set up Keegan Klein, and they know that it's connected to him, but that he's being set up. And I find it very strange that what Adam's saying about the roommate that hasn't been mentioned is actually dating Libby's friend who called in the ski mask. I mean, that's case closed. FBI are going to come down on those people so hard. Yeah, they already busted and they don't even know it. And if that's the truth, you guys can see, hey, Sleuth was onto something. And even people like Savannah, we were talking about this long ago before they ever even announced Anthony shots. So you guys got to give us some credit. Come on. The first video I made on YouTube was about the catfish and burner phones and people leading them to the high bridge. You guys all called me crazy for that. At some point, we got to get some credit for at least being closer. I mean, we didn't get it right. We got a lot of things wrong, but at least that part we got right. Let's see here. Moon Crystal says the Inquisitor has a video about Hannah Rostel, a name in the unredacted transcript. Yep, that's true. It is there. Upon researching, they found online accounts of Hannah Rostel uses on the image of a girl and a family friend one knows. Yep, that's friend one. That is the roommate that Keegan Kline not only lived with before, he lived with this person in their basement before they went to Las Vegas, but also moved to Las Vegas with this person, friend one, who used to be Tony's neighbor. And what's very strange, there was an interview with a Criming Shame, and I think it was Adam who was conducting the interview with friend one's mom, and she told us, or she mentioned in the interview that they lied and said that they were going to Colorado. Now, why would you lie when this person has your kids? Unless he was trying to help Kagan, maybe. Maybe he's not involved, and maybe he's like, well, I need you to lie because I'm kind of helping my friend out. So a lot of stuff coincides with him getting arrested. The FBI talking about going over state lines and communicating with certain people. Right around the time he was arrested, it was the same time they were doing a search. Same time they took Kagan Kline into ISP custody. So, yeah, a lot of stuff coincides with that. Honeybee says, response to Jessica Pierce. I wonder why the killers did not take the phone and disable it immediately. They had to know she had it. I don't think they did know. I don't think they were aware of that. I think they planned to be very quick. Hey, what's up, Grizz? Oh, yeah, it's definitely not a girl. It is a pedo. It's basically the Emily Ann 45 account for somebody else. And it could very well be the person who was on the other end of that Dropbox. Because if this person is close to Kagan Kline and knows what Kagan Kline does and what his skill is, so to speak, they may not have the ability to send those videos over just regular email, so they need a Dropbox. And a lot of musicians were using Dropbox. I know I was back in like 2013. It's really the only way you were able to send these huge files. If you're going to break a track down and break it down into individual tracks so somebody can master it or something like that, or try to, or maybe do a better job of mastering or attempt to, it's going to be a very large file. At least like a couple gigs. No. She explained it as that he lied to them, and then once he got there, he told them. Yeah, he's the one driving. I mean, he knows where they're going. And why lie to your mother when she's the one that has your children? People, if your mom has your children, you're not You're gonna tell him where you're going. She should know where you're going. Like nobody thinks that's odd at all. Yeah, mom, here, keep my children, and I'm going to Colorado, but really it's Las Vegas. Good luck getting hold of me if something bad ever happens. Yeah, it's better not to take the phone anyway. You're right, Teresa. They could have tracked him. Yeah, why take it? They may have had it and said, hey, we better leave it here. No reason for us to touch it either. Freckle Joy, no. I'm at Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Just across the border of Washington State and Idaho State. Yeah, that's a good point. Luke Line says, do you think with all the coinciding, Kagan's court date is approaching in January, do you believe we're going to find out by then? Um, it's a possibility. I mean, it's possible, no. But the only reason I think it's possible because we haven't heard anything. You know, I keep hearing these rumors about a grand jury and all this crazy stuff that's going on. And if law enforcement did have something going on, they're not going to do a presser because usually a presser is done so that they can get further in the case. They need the public's help to further the investigation. So if they're not going public and there's all this craziness going on and they're making like small statements here and there, it's either something very big is coming up or absolutely nothing. I know that's not saying much. Colt Heron says, I agree. I think KK almost has to be involved, but BG isn't KK either. If the KK story about waiting in a car is true. Well, you got to remember, Colt, the KK story waiting in the car comes from KK. And if we know anything about people who are guilty of these horrendous crimes, they like to limit their involvement. And any investigator who has ever interrogated somebody will tell you that's the first thing that happens. And he's your typical subject. He denied creating the Anthony Shots account until they put the proof in front of him. He said, oh, yeah, I created it. You know, I was just lonely and I did it to talk to girls. And then they were like, well, we found child porn. Okay, I admit to that. And yes, oh, well, we found, children under the ages of 3 and 6 with adults and actual penetration. And then he got really pissed off, like he was trying to separate. So it might be his misinformation that's leading law enforcement to think that there's multiple people using the Anthony Shots account. And he could be better than they think. He could really be involved in these characters. Because, he has these girls, wrapped around his finger. They really believe in this Anthony Shots persona. So he could really be in that fantasy, and for him to be so locked into that fantasy and then go down and actually meet the girls and to be belittled. Because if you know anything, when I talked with Julian Powell, because he was somebody who told us he was interviewed because he was there, he just didn't like talking about it. He said, so what happened? Were you there taking pictures and they made fun of you and you just snapped? So I'm wondering if something was captured on audio or video where the person was really mad or upset or angered. I don't know. I'm just always searching for the motive. Why? Like, are you just completely out of your mind and you're kind of like an incel? Because Keegan reminds me of your typical incel. Catfishing and almost satisfied with getting those photos. Like he planned to live the rest of his life that way. He was content. Or was he? Digital says, was Lance shot KK's next door neighbor? Yes, across the street. And they were friends. When they were younger, they were friends. So you had basically Lance Schatz, Julian Powell, and Kagan Klein running around as young kids on the same street. And that comes from information from Julian Powell and Callista Schatz. Lance Schatz is his mother. Whatever you want to make of that. Oh, Julian was high as hell. He has a drug problem. Yeah. What kind of double murder person involved in a double murder would be on drugs? He's definitely excluded for his drug addiction. Yep, Schatz lived across the street. Local media interviewed her, and she acted like she didn't really know the person, but she knows him quite well. Oh yeah, very interesting site. I'm thinking Kagan Klein is your typical incel, and they can become very dangerous, especially if they go down there and they're like, "Hey, look, um, law enforcement said in his affidavit that he was enamored by Libby, that she had completely bought into the profile. So if she had completely bought into the profile, that means he convinced her. And if he was into her too, and for some reason thought if he met her and just explained to her, like, look, you know, all the conversations that we had and all the times that we were hanging out, like it was really me. And she's like, I don't give a shit. Like, I thought you were successful and good looking and all this stuff. You're not. Like, you're just this piece of shit person. And he was probably high out of his mind. And they're just like, man, this is really weird. And we may be in some big trouble. And he could have snapped because that does happen. These incel types can be very dangerous and they'll admit it to you. Oh, see, here we go. Freckle Joy says, my sister was in Goleta when that one incel was shooting people. They are very dangerous. Yeah, there was one incel. He would meet the girls, and this incel wasn't even bad looking. Like he was a good looking guy. He was very athletic. They're over judgmental and they struggle with just basic human interactions. So things are very difficult for them. But he got so frustrated he would meet people in public that he catfished online, and then he would mace them, or he would just walk up to pretty girls and be like, "Hey, do you want to?" And then he would like basically say something like sexually harass them. And then if they didn't agree with any of the nasty stuff that he said, he would mace them. And a couple girls stood up and fought him and like broke his nose, and he got arrested. I did a live stream on it probably about 5 months ago. Oh, there's the definition right there. Member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women. And it's not always unable to attract women sexually. They just don't want like some of them don't want today's modern woman. Um, I don't know. Basically, they're full of excuses. USSB shooter, he killed 6 girls. That's awful. Oh yeah, Vanessa, that was a scary one. When I was putting it together, um, it did trouble me. I didn't know it was that big of a problem. Honeybee says they are divorced from mainstream and thus maybe feel isolated. Yeah, they're definitely like self-isolated. They put themselves in a really small box, it seems, and they have really high standards when really they're not in a position, to have any standards really. Some of them are successful. They all seem like techie types, but not always. No, these guys, Baby Bear, are extremely insecure. Like they are on the brink of a meltdown. And really, all they got to do is look over at a girl and say, "Hi, how are you? What are you doing today?" Yep. Oh, we got a super chat. Let me scroll down here. Hey, Jerry. Jerry says, "My man Sleuth just got out of work and must say I'm envious of that scenery. Good to see you, brother." Oh yeah. I mean, we count the days when we come out here. I mean, look at this place. It's crazy. And then just outside of our hotel, there's like a strip you can walk down. All these great restaurants. We just charge it to the room or whatever. Julian was supposedly abused and controlled by his wife. No, not at all. His wife is a very pleasant person. Um, yeah, he has a great family. Two beautiful girls and a lovely wife. He has people that care about him. She's not abusive. If anything, he's abusive. B. Mealy says, check out Simon Wright and the dog theory. Yeah, the dog theory, if you look at J. Kyle Keener's photos, you can see dog prints running up that area where Tony is searching. Also, you have the affidavit where they talk about animal hair and fibers. And also, Kim Riley and Doug both stated in articles that there is a human element and a science element. Freckled Joy, no. Julian's wife never beat him, ever. She's like a tiny little girl. And according to her, he can be extremely scary. Yeah, don't go around spreading that shit. I think dogs would have lots of DNA. Well, it's very strange because law enforcement, they're tricky. So they say, yeah, we have DNA. Well, if you can name me one crime scene that doesn't have DNA, you know, they all have DNA. Every crime scene is going to have DNA. I don't care. Could be anywhere. Could be in a brand new building. It's going to be filled with DNA. Whether that belongs to the killer, that's another story. Oh, Luke, you guys are getting bad weather? That's how it was in Arizona all last month. Horrible. You're welcome, Mealy. B. Mealy. But yeah, there's definitely something to that theory. We've actually talked about that quite a bit. Yeah, he's not, from what I hear, he wasn't the best person. And I'm not here to beat him down, but um, we'll save that for another time. I did all I could with that information. If anything comes from it, you guys can. I'm sure you guys will want to talk to me. If not, it's in law enforcement's hands. Me personally, yes, he's still at the top of my list. and that's for my own personal reasons. You guys can do your own work on that. He's been interviewed, he's been polygraphed, he's been blood tested, another DNA test, and interviewed like a week after it happened. So if law enforcement has anything on him, they're on top of it. They'll make the connection. There's a lot of stuff that I was very privy to during that period, and hopefully we can talk about that. Jessica Bishop says Julian Powell was Kagan's neighborhood friend of some sort. Not that I can verify, but he does know Lance Schatz and Gabriel Schatz, who are neighbors to Kagan. And the same time, they were neighbors with him at the same time Kagan, or that Julian would have, his father would have been dating Callista, who is Tony Klein's neighbor. No, he can be very violent. Yeah. Yep, night before and the night of. And self-admitted going to the cemetery prior to and after. But he's just crazy. What do I know? But like I said, it's pointless talking about this person. The only thing that we can accomplish is to get law enforcement's attention, and we did. So like I said, it's in their hands now. Hey, what's up, Tony? Good to see you, buddy. Yes, he did. Oh, hey, Bossy. Bossy says, do you think it's possible there was more than one vehicle used the day of the murders? Yes. I think this could have been planned. This could have been planned for months. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And I think that the occult might play a big part in what's going on. And I think it might play a big part in the motivation of it all. A public art critic says, in my opinion, no way it was one person. Definitely a group. And the wider community covering them, hence Carter scaring them by saying he needs 60 officers to go back over all the tips. Yeah, I mean, what's the motivation? Like, to me, the mean teens would be that another girl was really mad at Libby. They set her up, they ambushed her, and they used Keegan Kline as the fall guy because he was catfishing them, but they already knew it was him, you know? And I don't know, maybe Libby like fooled around with one of her friend's boyfriends or something, and they went crazy and set her up. Some people lose their grip on reality, but that's just a theory. Right now, if I was to put all my eggs in one basket, hypothetically speaking, it would be Keegan Kline on a solo mission. completely lost in his fantasy. But that's just because that's where the evidence points. Yeah, people talk about Tony Klein, this and that, the red Jeep, but there's really nothing. There's just as much evidence that points to the mean team theory as it does Tony. Just saying. Fight me. Come at me, bro. I don't think so. But I think if you can gain access, like if you can gain access to the same Wi-Fi that other people are doing, that other people are on, you can hack their shit through that Wi-Fi. Yeah, burner phones. Naughty, it's either getting weirder and weirder or it's getting simpler and simpler. To me, that's what's happening. It's getting much more easy to see. I mean, it's right there. Bossy says, so I saw a pic of TK with the black truck. Also, he bought a white a while ago, I believe. That truck also sits outside his house, but I assumed it was neighbors because it parked into the front of their house. Maybe. But I also know he no longer lives at the Canal Street address. He still lives in Peru, but not at that address. If I'm right. I could be wrong, but I looked it up recently and he's no longer listed there. His most previous address is somewhere else. Anthony Carucci says, I think it's Kagan too. I mean, why not? Why can't it be him? Because you think he's pathetic? He is pathetic, but he might be smarter than you think. I don't understand how you can just discredit that. What's up, Jamie? No, nothing new. Yeah, it's a good angle. With Oddfellows. What's Oddfellows? Part of a film? Could be part of a ritual. I mean, we know this is about power to you. No new info. But I'm pretty sure they found what they were looking for. Now, whether they can do anything with it is another story. That's probably why they didn't want to jump the gun on all that. Yeah, come on, law enforcement. Like, they need this. Yeah, like the Mason sleuth, the Oddfellows, more exclusive, I thought. Yeah, I mean, I haven't discredited that theory and things like that, but I just don't talk about it until I have something to talk about, But believe me. All right, guys, we're running on an hour. That's all the time I have. We will hang out in the chat the remainder of the time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Teresa. Cole, yep. Wow, Bossy, that's very interesting. You're welcome, Luke. Wouldn't doubt it. Thank you, Vanessa. Got it, psych. What's up, Derek? Sorry, I missed you, man. Busy. Yeah, he knows a lot about this person. And why'd they switch directions? To me, it's either false witness or somebody was trying to set somebody up. How you doing, Derek? Yeah, this crime could have taken a back seat to the largest pedal ring they've ever seen in Indiana. You're right. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a great day. Yeah, peace out, Derek. Good to see you. Thanks, Tax Cut. Later, guys. Take care.